All right, welcome everybody to the Florida Physique Report, episode number 13. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2014, and on today's show, we are going to cover the results from the Southeastern USA, which took place 2 weeks ago, and also the NPC IFBB Fort Lauderdale Cup. And then Tony Candales is going to be joining us. Tony is an IFBB Men's Physique Pro. He's going to be joining us to talk about the results of the Dayana Cadeau Classic, which took place last weekend in Coral Springs, Florida. Tony was at that show and he took pictures for us. We have the contest report up of the Dayana Cadeau Classic right now on FloridaPhysique.com, courtesy of Tony Candales. He took those pictures for us, so I want to thank him very much. Before we get to that, I want to talk about the show coming up this weekend. It's the last competition in the Central District for the Florida area for the NPC. It's called the All-South Championship. Pete Fancher is the promoter. Pete is also the district chairman for the NPC Central Florida District. And like I said, this is going to be the last competition in the Central Florida area. There's still a couple more competitions coming up in the South Florida area. And then, of course, we have the NPC Nationals coming up on November 20th and 21st. And that will pretty much finish out the contest season for 2014. So that's going to be a very big show, the All-South Championships, this weekend, November 1st, in St. Augustine, Florida. And we, will, of course, will be there for FloridaPhysique.com to cover the show. All right, now let's talk about the results of some of these competitions that have taken place over the last few weeks. It's been a very busy couple weeks in the NPC Florida area. We missed last week's show. I had a head cold and my voice was not up to speaking capacity, so we did not have a show last week. So we got a lot of results to go over. First of all, the Southeastern USA took place October 11th in Orlando, Florida. It was promoted by Chris Eady. 293 competitors. Very, very big show. And he also had four-time Mr. Olympia Phil Heath guest posing. He had Phil out, I believe, in 2010 before he even won the Mr. Olympia. So this was the return of Phil Heath. Phil was only a couple weeks out from winning his fourth Mr. Olympia, so he was in great shape, and the audience really loved that. But let's talk about the results of the competition itself. It was a very big show. Started off with the men's bodybuilding, the Masters men's bodybuilding. The over 70 division was run by Robert Drapkin. Over 60 division was won by Ted Boylan. The over 50 division was won by Jack Osborne. The over 40 division had quite a few competitors. They had two classes, so a lightweight and a heavyweight. The lightweight went to Joseph Jaciel, who is from the Naples, Florida area. He won the Naples Bonita Classic a couple months ago. And then the heavyweight went to James Bivens from the Miami area. And then the overall, Joseph Jaciel won the overall in that contest in the Masters Men bodybuilding. Moving on to the novice bodybuilding, it was won by Marcus Lewis, who won the teen competition at the Orlando Metro back in July. And Marcus wanted to enter the teen contest in this show, but unfortunately they only had one competition. He was the only one. So he decided to enter the novice division instead, and he won first place. So still a teenager, he's got a very promising career. The novice figure division went to Lindsey Rodriguez. There was about 10 competitors in that class. The teen figure went to Nathalia Colel. Nathalia has been winning teen figure competitions all year long, so she's got a very promising career. Masters figure, they had quite a few competitors. In the over 40 division, the short class was won by Lisa Brightman, and the tall class went to Sheila Hand. And then the overall, Lisa Brightman won the over 40 Masters figure. And the over 30, Mandy Rapice won the short class. The medium class went to Dinah Wahlberg, and the tall class went to Jennifer Keller. And the overall for that, for the over 30 Masters figure, Dinah Wahlberg won the overall. Moving on to the women's bodybuilding, Susan Lawson took first place in both the Masters and the Open. Susan has been winning competitions, quite a few of them this year. She just won the Daytona Beach Classic also. Moving on to the novice bikini, there was 16 competitors. Nicole Johnson, who was competing in her very first show, took first place. She looked outstanding. And then we go to the Masters bikini. They had an over 30 and an over 40, and Osiris Pareto, who won the St. Pete Muscle Classic a couple of weeks ago. Osiris won both the over 30 and over 40 divisions. They didn't have an overall, but she would have won that. So Osiris looking very, very good in the Bikini Division. Won both the over 30 and over 40. Hard to believe she's over 40 years old. Going to the men's physique novice, Ashkin Aterzida. Hope I'm saying that right. He took first place out of 11 competitors. And then we go to the Masters men's physique. The over 40 was won by Quincy Williams, and the over 35 was won by Johnny Arvila. Moving to the women's physique, Becky Thomas won the Masters division. Then they had an open women's division in the women's physique, and she also won that. So Becky Thomas wins both the Masters and the open women's physique. Then the figure open, very big class, 33 total competitors. Dolly Vickers won the short class. Lisa Brightman, who was our Masters figure over 40 winner, she won Class B. Dinah Wahlberg won Class C. And then Mariana Coker won Class D. And then the overall, Dinah Wahlberg took the overall again. So Dinah won both the Masters figure overall and the open figure overall. So congratulations to her. Going into the men's physique open, the short class was won by Elroy Mills. Medium class went to August Lysick, and the tall class went to Daniel Colclezier. And then in the overall, August Lysick won first place. August has got a great look, very good chiseled jaw. He looks like a model, and his abs were rock hard. This guy was really, really in top shape. He's training for the Nationals next month, so he should look really good in that. All right, moving into the Bikini Open, the biggest division of the night, 47 competitors. They had 4 classes. Class A was won by Mariela Melendez. Class B went to Carolina Mestre. Class C went to Nicole Hernandez, who also won the novice. And Osiris Pareto won Class D. Osiris also won, of course, the Masters Bikini. And then in the overall, it came down to Nicole Hernandez winning the overall. This was actually Nicole's very first show. She took the overall in both the novice and the open. So congratulations to her. This is a really big show. And she is also going to the Nationals. In fact, she's the girlfriend of August Lysick, who was the men's physique winner. So they had a really good night. Finally, it finished off with the open men's bodybuilding. The bantamweight class was won by Dean Brown. The lightweight class went to Tim Tevin, who had a really good physique. He was rock hard, really good shape. Middleweights were very tough. There was like 3 or 4 competitors who were outstanding. First place went to Shelby Phillips. Looks like a young competitor. He had good shape, really good condition, and he beat Cliff Parker by 1 point. Cliff looked like to be a little bit bigger and was also in really good shape, so could have won either way. That was a very close class. Light heavyweight went to Lamar Byrd Jr., who looked outstanding. Lamar's got a great condition, great genetics, very small waist, and if he can just come in a little bit harder, but he was in really good shape for this contest. He took first place in the light heavies. Brian Garrison, who just won the Daytona Beach Classic, he won the heavyweight class. He beat out Daniel Alfonso, who also looked really good. Daniel was huge, really big guy, but Brian's got a great physique, and he took first place. And then the super heavyweights went to Alfonso Cromartie. I think he weighed over 240 pounds, and he was in good condition, so he looked really good. Then in the overall, it looked really close between, I thought, Brian Garrison and Lamar Byrd took the overall win. So congratulations, Lamar Byrd. He also will be going to the Nationals next month in Miami Beach, Florida. All right, now let's go over the Fort Lauderdale Cup. This was promoted by Shannon Day. It took place on October 18th in Fort Lauderdale. This was an IFBB NPC show because in addition to the NPC National Qualifier, which had 303 competitors, they also had a pro bikini and a pro men's physique, which were IFBB divisions, 39 total competitors in the IFBB portion of the contest. So really big competition. Started off again with the Masters Bodybuilding. Over 50 division went to Edgar Melendez, and then the over 40 division went to Joe Fernandez with James Bivens in second place. And then in the overall, Edgar Melendez, the over 50 winner, was the winner. The novice went to Luis Granado. Open bodybuilding, they got that over with quick. They started off with the bodybuilding. Lightweight class went to Davier More. Davier was a short guy, but very compact and thick physique, and he was in good condition. Looked like a young guy too, so he's got a good future. Welterweight went to Austin Morrell. The middleweight went to Zach Livingston, who beat Matt Eamonn by 1 point. Matt, of course, if you've been listening to the Florida Physique Report, has been competing since the summer. I think his first show this year was the Acton City Classic, and he's been winning middleweight class in just about every men's bodybuilding show over the summer and into the fall. But it looks like he's starting to get a little maybe burned out from competing so often. So he took second place to Zach Livingston by 1 point in the middleweight class. Light heavyweight class went to Yorverky Adams, who I'm not familiar with. I guess he competes in the South Florida area. He was shredded. This guy was rock hard. Definitely the most shredded guy in the contest. Heavyweight class went to AJ Sims, who was also a very good competitor. Big guy, had really good legs, and was also in outstanding condition, really ripped. And then the super heavyweight went to James Bivens. In the overall, I thought it was pretty close between Yorverky Adams and AJ Sims. Yorverky Adams won the overall. He was just too shredded. Couldn't beat his conditioning. Then they moved into the women's physique. Nicole Gutierrez, who I thought looked really, really good. Had a good look overall. Very attractive lady. Good posing routine. She took first place. The women's bodybuilding went to Chris Darlington. She was the only competitor in that class. And then they moved on to the pro men's physique. They had 23 competitors. These guys were all outstanding, obviously, as their IFBB professionals. There was 11 competitors from the Florida area, seeing as how the contest took place in Fort Lauderdale. Matt Acton, who did very well at the Men's Physique Olympia just last month, he took first place, with Michael Ferguson taking second place. Anton Antipov, who I thought looked outstanding, really good physique, really hard, he took third place. Manuel Banks from the Florida area was in fourth place. And David Herskovitz took fifth place. David's been competing in men's physique for a couple years, but this was definitely the best he ever looked. Bigger and harder than he's ever been. I think David put on like 15 or 20 pounds of muscle since he last competed about 13 months ago. So congratulations to him. That was great progress. The Masters figure over 50 went to Viviana Smorelli, and then the over 40 Masters figure went to Millie Cohen-Paez. And the Masters figure over 30 went to Alexandra Colmenares. And then in the overall, Alexandra Colmenares won the Masters figure. The novice figure, 12 competitors in that class. Deepika Chowdhury won that class, and she looked really good. Very cut up, good shoulders, real well-capped shoulders, and very ripped. So congratulations to Deepika. The figure open was next. They had about 20 competitors in this competition. Class A was won by Millie Cohen-Paez, who won the over 40 Masters figure. Class B went to Iona Gonzalez, who looked outstanding. Really good physique on this lady. Class C went to Deepika Chowdhury, who won the novice. And Dana Samish won Class D. In the overall, Iona Gonzalez took first place. We did an interview with Iona after the contest. She's only 22 years old. Only been training for a couple years. She's got really good muscle size. She was competing in bikini at first, but she thought she could do much better in the figure department, and her stage presence was outstanding. So you could tell her competing in the bikini really helped her stage presence in the figure. So Iona is supposed to be coming to Tampa, to the Powerhouse Gym here in downtown Tampa, Florida, to do a training video with us. So that should be coming up in the next week or so. So we're looking forward to seeing her. They went to the Pro Bikini Division next. They had 16 Pro IFBB Bikini competitors. 8 of them were from the Florida area. Stephanie Mayho, who was a Florida resident, took pretty commanding first place, I thought. She looked really, really good. I think Stephanie was in 10th or 11th place at the Bikini Olympia this year. Bianca Berry took second place. Catherine Radulik from Florida took third place. Shandy Ortiz, who just got her pro card just a couple months ago at the North America, was in fourth place in her pro debut, so congratulations to her. And Michelle Sylvia took fifth place. Michelle is also from the Florida area. So congratulations to Stephanie Mayho on winning the Pro Bikini. Stephanie has now secured her place at the Bikini Olympia for 2015 from winning this pro show. Same thing goes for Matt Acton, who won the Men's Physique Pro. He already has his invitation for the 2015 Olympia, so congratulations to both of them. Moving on in the Fort Lauderdale Cup, they went into the Men's Physique Division. Marvin Roberts won the Masters class. The novice men's physique was next. Pretty good big division, 23 total competitors, all in one class. They had two identical twins in this contest, Anthony and Angelo Moggiati. I couldn't tell them apart, but obviously the judges could. Anthony took first place and Angelo took second place. First time I ever saw that, two identical twins taking first and second place in a contest. Anthony was a little bit harder, I think, than Angelo, so he got the first place nod. The Opens men's physique, the short class was won by Marco Rodriguez, and then the tall class went to Johnny Navarro, who took second place the week before at the Southeastern USA. And then in the overall, Johnny Navarro Jr. took first place overall, and Johnny is going to be competing in the Nationals next month also. All right, next we go to the Masters Bikini Division. A lot of competitors in this division. Ann Kissling won the over 50. The over 40 was split up into two height classes, Class A and Class B. Class A went to Ella Kapul Jenkins, who I've seen compete before in the Central Florida area, and she took first place. Congratulations to Ella. Class B in the over 40 went to Deborah Lindahl. And the over 30 also was competed in two divisions, Class A and Class B. Lalanis Fernandez won Class A, and then Melody Batule took Class B. Then in the overall, they had all 5 class winners come up for the overall, and Melody Batule won the overall. Melody has competed, I believe, in 6 competitions. This was her first overall, and she was very, very happy to win. Novice Bikini was next. They had 45 competitors in this class. Novice Bikini, huge division. They had a Class A and Class B. Rocio Casco won Class A, and Melody Batule won Class B. And then in the overall, Melody Batule won her second overall of the night. She won the Novice Bikini. Finally, the contest finished off with the Open Bikini. They had 4 height classes, 73 total competitors. Huge. You figure with Shannon Day and the Bombshells, Bikini was going to be big, and it was. It was a huge division. Class A was run by Rocio Casco. Class B went to Carolina Mestra, who also took her class the week before at the Southeastern USA. Ashley Everett won Class C. She looked very good, was really in good condition, very lean. And Elzira Rodriguez won Class D. And then in the overall, Elzira Rodriguez took first place. So that is it. That was the lineup for the Southeastern USA and also the Fort Lauderdale Cup, which took place 2 weeks ago. Last weekend we had the Dayana Cadeau Classic, which was in Coral Springs, Florida. Tony Candales was there. He took some pictures for us. We have the full report up on floridaphysique.com if you want to check that out. But Tony will be joining us later in the show, and he's going to give us a rundown of what happened. I also want to mention that we had Eric Diffenderfer come in from the Team Freak Physique. They came in from Orlando. He brought 6 of his physique clients in, and we shot 3 different videos here at the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa. So we got 3 big training videos coming. We've got David Herskovitz, who just took 5th place the day before at the Dayana Cadeau Classic, and Johnny Navarro, who won the overall at the Fort Lauderdale Cup. Those guys teamed up for a workout, and we filmed that. Johnny, of course, will be competing in the NPC Nationals next month, trying to get his pro card. And David will be competing in the Kentucky Pro, which I believe is in about 2 more weeks, second weekend in November. So both of those guys were in outstanding shape. And then we also had Tara Ramos, who will be making her pro debut at the Kentucky Pro in the figure division. She was teamed up with Devin Manny, who is also doing the Nationals. So we got another potential pro and a pro making her pro debut. Tara Ramos and Devin Manny both were doing a workout, a back workout, so we filmed that. That'll be coming up. And then finally we got Jay Williams and Kristen Bondanza, both bikini competitors. Kristen will be competing this weekend at the All South. She's going to try and get qualified to compete in the Nationals, and Jay Williams will also be competing in the Nationals. She's done, I think, 3 national qualifiers already. She's in search for a pro card also. We also did a great training video with Josh Vogel, who is what I call the teen sensation. He's like the new Tom Platz of Florida. This kid is only 19 years old. He's got massive quads. And we did a training video with Josh a couple months ago when he was getting ready for the Tim Gardner Extravaganza. Well, now he's bulked up a little bit. He's competing in his first powerlifting meet in a couple of weeks. So we filmed a squat and bench workout with him. We should have that video up very soon on floridaphysique.com. So we got 4 new training videos coming up on floridaphysique.com. So stay tuned for that. Okay, that's it for the Florida Physique Report. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Tony Candales, who's going to give us his report of the Dayana Cadeau Classic, which took place last weekend. All right, welcome back to Florida Physique Report. I am here joined with Tony Candales, who is our Southern correspondent. You're covering all our shows in the South Florida area, Tony. First of all, thanks a lot for all those great photos for the Dayana Cadeau Classic, because I couldn't make it to that show, and you got some great photos from that. So I just wanted to talk to you, Tony, about what your thoughts were on the show. This was we were at the IFBB NPC Fort Lauderdale Cup a week before that. And they had a pro bikini and pro men's physique there. This was sort of similar to that because they had a pro bikini with this show, and also a very big amateur portion of the show because this was a national qualifier, and the nationals are coming up in only a few more weeks. So a lot of competitors were in this show. First of all, Tony, what did you think of the pro men's physique? Because that was, obviously you're a professional men's physique competitor yourself. So what did you think of that contest?
Yeah, I was very impressed again with the guys that came out there. Really, it was only a week separated from the Fort Lauderdale Cup.
Yeah.
And a lot of the same guys were competing again. And actually, the first call out, the top 5 guys, were identical with the exception of one from the prior week. The guy, the new guy, Denis Gusev, who's actually from Russia.
Yeah.
Who I thought looked actually really good at the Fort Lauderdale. Also, his tan was a little bit off, and I think maybe that kind of threw things off a little bit. But physique-wise, he's got a really great physique, and I was actually surprised he didn't do better at the Fort Lauderdale Cup. But it looks like the judges got another look. Mm-hmm. A week later, the tan was much better, and he actually ended up in third, right behind the 2 guys that were at the Olympia. So
yeah.
He made a pretty quick move up there in the ranks. So Anton actually won this show, and we said it last week. I think too. He looked great. He may have even looked better here, which is hard to imagine. But he really came in really good.
Yeah, we were both impressed with him at the Fort Lauderdale Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. So he looked incredible here, and then Matt Acton, who actually won the Fort Lauderdale Cup, came in second. So pretty similar results, like I said, except for Dennis, who kind of moved up there pretty quickly in the third place. And I think he's really going to continue to do well. He's a really tall guy.
Yeah.
And he's really he's really impressive because he's really tall and he's got a really good physique.
Yeah, honestly, I really don't remember him that much from the Fort Lauderdale Cup. I guess because he wasn't being called out,
Yeah, he was either second or third call-outs there, and he went all the way back up to third in the show. So it was pretty big move there.
Yeah, he does have a good physique. Like you said, he's tall, wide shoulders, so he looks like he's got the look for a men's physique.
Yep. And then Emmanuel Banks, who I believe came in either third or fourth last week, came in fourth again this time. And then David Berkowitz also, who had placed fifth or fourth last week, came in fifth. So everything else was pretty much almost the same as the prior week. But, with a little shift there at the very top. So.
And Emmanuel and David are both from the Florida area, so they did really well.
Yeah, they're consistently doing well now at all these shows. So
Emmanuel's got a great physique. I seen him sort of like guest pose at the Southern States, which was sort of different because they didn't have him. I never saw a men's physique guy guest pose before, but he came out and you could see really how good his physique was because he was hitting some bodybuilding poses at first. And David Berkowitz, we just shot a video with him at the Powerhouse Gym in Tampa last Sunday, and I told him, I said, man, I never seen your physique look so good. I think he put on like 20 pounds of muscle, almost 20 pounds of stage weight difference from when he competed last year, which was, I think, about 13 months ago since he last stepped on stage,
Yeah, actually, Emmanuel did a guest pose at the very first show I did, the West Palm Beach Antelope level earlier in the year.
Okay.
And that's the first time I got to look at him at that time. Of course, he was in his off season, so he wasn't quite as conditioned. He actually looked a little bit bigger there because of that, off season. But he looked really good. So he's definitely got it dialed in now, and I think he's going to continue to do pretty well.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the NPC. We'll go all the way up to, I'm looking at our Florida Physique Report from the Dayana Cadeau Classic with your pictures, and we'll go all the way up to the top and talk about the Bikini Division, which I guess, again, it's always a big division, probably the biggest one of the show, huh?
Yeah, a lot of good competitors there. Really, definitely impressed with the first call-out group in that division as well. I know there were a couple new girls there, I think, that were competing really only in their first or second show. But it was a really good class there.
Now, this girl, Yanelis Pupo, she won also the Bikini Open, and I think she also won, was it the Novice or the Masters?
She left with about 10 trophies.
Oh, really?
I lost track.
Yeah.
I think every division she was in, she won.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She won Masters, Novice, and Open. So,
yeah, she looked really, really good. Really great physique and really just great overall look. It's funny because she's actually one of the shorter girls that are kind of in the lineup, but she's got that overall aesthetic look as well, and I think that really kind of helped her. Get all those first place votes. But yeah, it was trophy after trophy for her that night. She looked really good.
Have you ever seen her compete before, Tony, out there?
I haven't, no. So I'm not sure if maybe she had taken a couple shows off. I know she hadn't done any of the the recent shows over the past couple weeks because I would have remembered. So
yeah. Well, she did Novice. I guess she never won a show before,
Yeah. What was that?
I said if she did Novice, she probably never won a show before, so maybe maybe she hasn't really competed that much.
Right, good point. Yeah, she looks really, really good. I mean, she's definitely got a good chance to continue to do well. I'd be interested to know if she's going to do the national show because she's probably ready for it from what I see here.
Yeah, why not? She's probably in that South Florida area, so I mean, I definitely think she should do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go over to the figure department, the figure classes, and also you had another girl there, Marianne Tomita, and she also did the same thing. She won the Open, and I believe she won the Masters. Have you ever seen her compete before, Tony?
That's right. No, I haven't. I'm actually familiar with her because she mans the NPC wear booth at a lot of shows. Yeah, along with Serge, and she looked really great. I mean, she's got a lot of really good sort of shape to her muscles. Very well defined muscle groups.
Yeah.
And she came in really good condition. She really dominated all the classes that she was in.
How was the figure classes overall? It looks pretty good from the pictures.
Yeah, there were. I mean, it was pretty impressive. A lot of good muscle on a lot of the girls there. The women, really, I should say there. Really well defined. Really good conditioning. Definitely women that I think have been at it for a while. They seem pretty poised and really, like I said, good groups really in all the first call outs.
Yeah. I'm looking at Nicola Wallish and looks like Randy Stockdale. They all have really good physiques. Even the girl that won the novice figure looks like she's got a really good physique.
Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely some good competition there.
All right, let's go over to your department, the men's physique. Hussam Alsaway, if I'm pronouncing that right, he won the overall. I'm not familiar with him. Have you ever seen him compete before?
No, and actually, just in general, some of the guys that I do know actually haven't competed recently. So there were a lot of new guys, so to speak, that really haven't been competing as of late in all the classes there in men's physique. I think he may have competed before, but not recently. And again, some of the guys that won some of the other classes that I know haven't competed, in a while. So I think they were kind of tuning up for nationals, trying to get another show under their belt before, we're only 2.5 weeks out or so at this point.
Yeah. Now Hussam, he doesn't look that big or that muscular. He's got a good look. He's got the wide shoulders and it looks really hard. But it looks like some of the other class winners maybe looked a little bit bigger. Is that how it looked on stage?
Yeah, that's pretty much right. He's definitely got a good, really good lats. You can see him from his front pose; they're kind of pronounced. So he's got a good, good overall shape. But as far as muscle size, he's definitely not one of the bigger guys. There were a lot of guys with a lot of muscle actually. The guy that won Class C, Dimitri Hudson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was looking at him.
Yeah, he's a really big guy, and I know he actually trains off and on at my gym, Powerhouse, here in West Palm. So I've seen him before. He hasn't done a show in a while, but I believe he's going to go do nationals. He's with Team Genetics, so he hasn't competed in a while, and he's a bigger guy. It's funny, you see him at the gym when he's wearing his sweats, and he looks huge. He looks like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And he's really, he really kind of gets his conditioning down to kind of get into that physique category. But big guy, a lot of muscle on him for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of guys in his class were pretty muscular. They all look pretty similar. They all got pretty good physiques.
Yeah, it's it's kind of a trend in physique. A lot of the guys are getting bigger.
Yeah.
Which is good for me because I was always considered a guy that was borderline too big, at least at the amateur level, but. What you'll see, and we'll see that in Miami, is that once you get to the national level, a lot of the guys, it's really more the norm, to have that a little bit of additional size, and really still that really good conditioning, but definitely a little bit bigger muscularly, than some of the normal guys. So.
And then Johnny Navarro, who just won the Fort Lauderdale Cup, he dropped down to third 1 week later. Do you think he maybe been a little bit burned out, maybe a little flat?
I think that's definitely it. I think it's either his third or fourth show in a matter of a month or two. He's really been doing a lot of shows, and I know it very well myself because I kind of went on a similar run earlier this year. By the time you get to that third or fourth show, especially in between shows, your body doesn't respond, like it normally does.
Yeah.
I know. I felt great after my first, one or two shows. Immediately thereafter, I kind of got, nice and full right afterwards. And really into that third or fourth show, I felt like I was kind of struggling to maintain my size.
Yeah.
And I think that's what got him. His conditioning was good, but he wasn't quite as full as he'd been in some of the other shows. So. He's definitely shut it down now, so to speak, and he's waiting for nationals. So he's kind of working on that right now.
Yeah, when you get to that point, it's like your body won't respond no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, and then Oliver Willems took the Masters men's physique. He looks pretty good also.
Yeah, Oliver actually did. I believe it was his first show as well. We did Dayana level, and he was in my class there, and I think he finished third at that show. He's got really really good conditioning. He actually lacks a little bit of size.
Mm-hmm.
He's got really good shoulders. I mean, really great shoulders. Good back. Really just a little bit small in the chest, but. Not sure if he's doing nationals. I really didn't get a chance to talk to him after the show.
Yeah.
But the judges really like him, and he's a charismatic guy on the stage, and I think it kind of shows, and they really like that. And like I said, he really comes in really conditioned.
Yeah.
Really, really hard. So, and he actually, he won that class over another guy who came in second, who was really a big guy. I think it's Keith Holmes is his name.
Yeah.
Huge guy. He looks like an NFL linebacker almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I think Oliver had a little bit better conditioning, and that's really kind of what made the difference there.
Yeah. Moving on to the women's physique, Joy Rossik, if I'm saying that right, she won the overall again in both Masters and Open, just like the figure and the bikini winners did. And looks like she had some good competition. Sometimes the women physiques divisions aren't too populated, but it looks like she had quite a few competitors against her. And she had a really good overall look, really good abs and wide shoulders. Good look for women's physique, I thought.
Yeah, I think from a women's physique perspective, I think she kind of hits the nail right on the head. She's got a combination of some pretty good size, pretty good muscle, and really good conditioning. And she was spot on. I think she, you're right. There was actually a little bit more competition than normal in that class. There were definitely a couple women there that looked really good. And she kind of stood out. She's a little bit taller too than some of the other girls, and I think that kind of helped set her apart a little bit.
Yeah, she looks like she's got a really good structure compared to some of the other competitors with the wide shoulders, and maybe her height helps also too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let's go on to the open men's bodybuilding. I'll tell you, I was really impressed with some of these guys, man. I mean, some of the bodybuilding competitions I've seen, the Fort Lauderdale Cup, for example, pretty good competition. But really, that one guy that won over there, I thought he pretty much dominated the Fort Lauderdale Cup. But this contest looks like it was really, really some really good bodybuilders, which I'm really happy to see, because sometimes you think, bodybuilding's going down while men's physique and bikini are going up. But not at this show. There was some really impressive physiques at this show.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I was really impressed with the bodybuilding classes. If you look at the open heavyweight class, the top 3 guys in that class were all really big, really good conditioning, and I think there's a guy who won the novice. I think he might have taken second in the overall.
Yeah, Jeremiah Wright.
He's a new competitor, and he's got some really good muscle.
Yeah, he won the novice. You're right. He won the novice overall, and he took second in the heavyweights. And yeah, if he's new to the competition scene, he looks really good.
Yeah, really great legs on him, and really good overall, and good chest. He's gonna continue to do pretty well, I think.
Did you think it was pretty close between him and Edgar Hernandez in the open men's heavyweight?
Yeah, I think that was definitely. I'm sure their scores were pretty close. There probably wasn't much separating them there. At least from what I could see, it was definitely a pretty close competition between those two. And then the third place guy was pretty good as well. I think his Ronald Lopez. Yeah. Those 3 guys were, I think either one of them could have taken first in that class. They were pretty good there.
Yeah, Ronald won the Masters men's bodybuilding, so he did well later on. This guy who won the light heavyweights, Sadiq Eamonn, he had a really nice physique. Almost reminds me of the old classic bodybuilders like Samir Bannout and Lee Labrada, that you got that one shot of him where he's with his trophy. And, man, what a classic physique. Great abs. Looks really conditioned and really good legs, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think, for an amateur level show, and of course, we are getting close to nationals, so you expect the competition overall to improve. And I was really, really impressed. Like you said, usually you'll go to some of these shows and, there'll be one standout guy in bodybuilder, maybe 1 or 2. And this one, there were several that really kind of stood out. So I think the bar was definitely getting raised here for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And then in the middleweight class, again, you got another probably 4 or 5 really good physiques. And the guy who won the middleweights won the overall, Miguel Senior. And looks like the guy who took second also looks really good, Fidel Perdomo.
That's right. Yeah, both of those guys look great. Definitely Miguel who won. His legs were incredible.
Yeah, looks like it.
He's got a really good overall physique, the upper body as well, but his legs were definitely standout. He had some incredible feathering in his quads, and they really just kind of bulge out on the sides. I mean, it was really, really good legs.
Hard to believe he's a middleweight.
Yeah, I mean those things got to weigh a lot.
Yeah,
so,
right.
You're right.
Those are pretty short.
Yeah, he's got a lot of muscle for a middleweight. I mean, absolutely.
And then this Fidel Perdomo, I mean, what a great physique. Good legs on him also, and real ripped. I mean, these guys got almost like the classic men's bodybuilding physiques, where they got good proportions and symmetry, and they're hard. I don't see any bloated stomachs or any of the bad characteristics that some of the bodybuilders show. I mean, these guys all had really good, almost like 80s or 90s physiques.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there wasn't it's not the overboard, sort of like you said, sort of protruding, abdomen scenario. They're all really tight. like you said, more of that classic look. There were a lot of the guys in the show had that going on. For sure.
I hope that continues. I hope that trend continues. And then we had Matt Eamonn in third place, and I've talked about Matt on the Florida Physique Report several times because I think he's been competing nonstop since I think July. I think he did the Ancient City Classic, and I think he's been competing almost every weekend since then. And he usually wins the middleweight class, but he's another one. I think he might be getting a little bit burned out after all these months of competing, and he still looks good, but he got third place in this show.
Yeah, he looked really good too. Really good conditioning. Like you said, maybe a little flat from kind of the wear and tear from all the shows. That seems to be what tends to happen. After you do several shows like that, it's kind of hard to maintain that fullness and the conditioning at the same time. So you see the guys coming in with great conditioning, but they're maybe just a little flat, not quite as full.
Right.
That seems to make the difference. Yeah.
All right. Well, this weekend I will be headed out to the All South. Which is going to be a pretty big competition out in St. Augustine. I'm sure that's going to be another big show because it's a national qualifier, and I think it's the last national qualifier out here in the Central District. So that's going to be a really big show. And then in 2 more weeks, on November 15th, we got the Florida Gold Cup. Are you going to be at that one, Tony?
Yeah, I am. Kind of an interesting scenario there. There's a guy. His name's Robert Matarese, who's a middleweight in bodybuilding. That's a friend of mine. He trains at Powerhouse also, and he's actually going to be looking to make the transition to the men's physique, and I'm helping him out with that.
Okay.
He's gonna do a show that I think is 2 weeks after that, which I think is the final show in the area at the. I think it's in Miami. Forgot the name of the show.
Yeah, the one in Hialeah, right? After the Nationals?
Exactly, that's it. He's gonna transition from bodybuilding to physique, and I'm kind of helping him out with his posing and some different things to do that. And that seems to be the choice for some of the guys who he's only been training for about 3 years, so he really needs more time to put enough muscle on to be really competitive in bodybuilding. So I think he's going to go into physique where he's more ready, to be better at a higher level there and kind of build his way into back into bodybuilding. So,
okay.
So I'll be there to cheer him on and to see how he does there.
Okay, I'll be at that show also, so maybe we can do another wrap up like we did at the Fort Lauderdale Cup.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then the following week after that will be the Nationals. That's the big one, and that'll be pretty much wrap up the contest season for 2014.
Yeah, I know a lot of guys that are doing that show, and they're on that pro card grind. They're going after it, doing all kinds of cardio in the morning, and working out 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah.
So one of my training partners, August Lisek, is doing that show.
Yeah.
He's looking to do really well there in his condition. I mean, he's ready now, so it's going to be a good show. Definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, August won the Southeastern USA, and I was really impressed with him too. I think he's definitely got the look for bodybuilding, or I'm sorry, for men's physique and going to the national level.
Absolutely, yeah. He's got that overall aesthetic look, and his conditioning is ridiculous. He's actually gonna look to come in a little bit fuller than he did at the last show, and kind of maintain the conditioning he has, and I expect him to do really well.
Yeah, and his girlfriend Nicole Hernandez, I believe. That was her first show, the Southeastern USA, and she won the overall. So she's going to the Nationals also, so it should be interesting to see how she does. Yeah, I expect her to do really well as well. She, that was her first show, but she definitely started off on the right foot. Like you said, she looked great, and she got some pretty good muscle on her for bikini, and she's really good, really good conditioning as well. Right. So they both use the same coach, and he's done a great job. He's with Elite Physiques. Mm-hmm. He's really done a great job with the two of them. So she's going to be there too, and figures to do pretty well as well. Okay, well, I look forward to it. And Tony, I want to thank you again for your coverage of the Dayana Cadeau Classic. Great photos and another great wrap up with you. And thanks for your input and thanks for your help for the Florida Physique. Absolutely, anytime, John. Appreciate it. All right, and I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks at the Florida Gold Cup, and then we'll see you at the Nationals. So thanks again, Tony. All right, sounds good. We'll see you, John. All right, take care. Thanks.
All right, thanks for joining us for the Florida Physique Report, episode number 13. Be sure to join us next week. We'll have a review of the All-South Championships, which takes place this weekend in St. Augustine, Florida. And we're also going to be joined by a couple special guests, so make sure you make it for that show. Thanks for joining us for the Florida Physique Report, and we'll see you next week.